Welcome to our comprehensive analysis of marriage laws and their impact on couples' lives and relationships. Let's delve into the intricacies of these laws and understand their significance. We begin with an overview of marriage laws, which regulate the institution of marriage and its effects. Since May 2009, the law has been gender neutral, allowing two individuals of the same sex to marry. Marriage is defined as a legal relationship between two individuals. Since 2009, the law has evolved to be gender neutral, allowing same-sex marriages. Spouses are expected to show loyalty and consideration towards each other. They share joint responsibility for the home and children, and manage their own property, with some exceptions for jointly owned assets. Property in marriage can be classified into different types, and prenuptial agreements can be made. Generally, each spouse manages their own property, but there are rights and obligations that come into play. Certain impediments can prevent a marriage from taking place, such as age, close kinship, and previous marriages. These rules ensure that marriages are legally and ethically sound. The process of examining marriage impediments involves several steps, including application, certificate issuance, and verification by the tax authority, culminating in the marriage ceremony. The marriage ceremony requires the presence of both parties, explicit consent, and a qualified officiant. The officiant ensures that all legal requirements are met before the marriage is finalized. Marriage officiants can be priests or other authorized individuals. They must have the necessary knowledge and skills to perform the ceremony according to legal standards. Spouses have a duty to support each other during and after marriage. Maintenance can be adjusted by the court to ensure fairness, especially in cases of separation or divorce. The process of property division during divorce involves several steps, from filing the application to the final division of assets. This ensures a fair distribution of property. Adjustments can be made during property division to ensure fairness, especially in cases of short marriages or significant economic disparities between spouses. The definition of a shared home includes property used by both spouses. Certain exceptions apply, and consent is required for decisions regarding the shared home. Gifts between spouses must meet certain validity requirements and are often registered. This ensures transparency and legal recognition of the gifts. A prenuptial agreement is a contract between spouses that regulates the status of their property. It must be registered to be effective and can have significant legal implications. Divorce can have various consequences, including economic, personal, and legal. The court handles these matters, ensuring that all aspects are fairly addressed. The court can make interim decisions during divorce proceedings to address immediate needs and responsibilities, ensuring stability until the final decision is made. Property division administrators are appointed to handle the division of assets during divorce. They ensure that the process is conducted fairly and in accordance with the law. Disputes over property division can be initiated within a specific timeframe. Claims for changes must be substantiated, and the court will address these disputes accordingly. Prenuptial agreements and gifts must be registered to be legally valid. This ensures that all agreements and transactions are transparent and recognized by law. In legal cases and practice, we see various rulings and laws that impact family law. For instance, RH 1999-12 discusses the right to fasten a claim even if the woman is not using the property. RH 2022-37 addresses the conditions for acting on behalf of a family member who is unable to do so themselves. Additionally, Law 2021-529 includes provisions on how a judgment can affect the division of property and the obligation to provide information to the other party. When it comes to the dissolution of marriage through death, the surviving spouse has the right to retain their own property without division. They also have the right to inherit the deceased spouse's property, which can affect the distribution of the estate. Special protection is provided for the surviving spouse to ensure they are not left without means. International marriages are recognized under Swedish law, and specific rules apply to these unions. The applicable law includes provisions for international marriages, and there are legal consequences that affect the rights and obligations of the parties involved. The economic consequences of divorce include maintenance payments, where one spouse may be required to support the other. Additionally, during the divorce process, decisions about the division of property, including the family home, are made to ensure fair distribution. Each spouse is responsible for their own debts, but there are protections for joint property. In the event of a divorce, there are specific rules for the division of the family home and household goods. Exceptions to the division of property can be made in certain circumstances, and there are special rights for the surviving spouse. Before a divorce, a prenuptial agreement, known as a foravtal, can be made to regulate the division of property. This agreement must be in writing and submitted to the authorities. It ensures that the terms are clear and legally binding. During marriage, there are different types of property, such as joint and individual property. The prenuptial agreement defines how these properties are managed and divided. Spouses have economic obligations to support each other, and the division of property is handled according to the agreement and legal provisions. Divorce can have significant psychological effects on children, causing stress and insecurity. The court considers the child's well-being when making decisions about custody and living arrangements. Economic consequences also arise, such as child support and the division of assets, which can impact the child's financial stability. In summary, the Marriage Code defines marriage, outlines the legislative history, and specifies the rights and obligations of spouses. It also addresses economic relations and the rules for divorce, ensuring that both parties are treated fairly and equitably.